5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. The Constitution of India contains special provisions that come into effect during times of national crisis or emergency. These provisions are designed to maintain the sovereignty, integrity, and security of the country when normal governance structures are under threat. The framers of the Constitution recognized the need for such measures to address extraordinary situations such as war, external aggression, armed rebellion, or breakdown of constitutional machinery in any state. The emergency provisions are a crucial part of the constitutional framework, enabling the central government to take decisive action in safeguarding the nation. Emergency provisions in the Indian Constitution can broadly be classified into three categories: national emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. Each type of emergency has specific conditions under which it can be proclaimed, distinct consequences, and particular procedures to be followed. These provisions are enshrined to ensure a balance between protecting the nation and preserving democratic principles. The national emergency is invoked when the security of India or any part thereof is threatened by war, external aggression, or armed rebellion. This provision grants the central government extraordinary powers to protect the country. During such an emergency, the executive authority of the Union extends to giving directions to states regarding the conduct of their administration. Fundamental rights, except for certain protections, can be suspended. The central government gains the power to legislate on subjects enumerated in the state list, which normally falls within the jurisdiction of state legislatures. Additionally, the tenure of the legislative bodies can be extended beyond the usual term during the emergency period. The process of proclaiming a national emergency begins with the issuance of a formal proclamation by the President of India. This proclamation must be based on a written report from the Cabinet or other relevant authorities indicating the threat to the country. The proclamation must be approved by both houses of Parliament within a specified period to remain valid. If Parliament is not in session, it must be convened immediately to consider the proclamation. The emergency can be revoked at any time by the President upon receiving advice from the Council of Ministers. State emergency, also known as President's Rule, comes into effect when there is a failure of constitutional machinery in a state. This means that the state government is unable to function according to the provisions of the Constitution. The central government assumes direct control over the state's administration. Under this provision, the Legislative Assembly of the state can be either suspended or dissolved. The President issues the proclamation based on a report from the Governor of the state or other sources indicating the breakdown of governance. Like national emergency, The proclamation of state emergency must be approved by Parliament within a fixed period. The initial period of President's rule lasts for 6 months, but can be extended with parliamentary approval, subject to a maximum duration. The central government, through the appointed governor or administrators, exercises legislative and executive powers in the state during this period. This provision ensures that governance continues and constitutional order is restored when a state government fails. Financial emergency is the least frequently invoked type of emergency. It can be proclaimed if the financial stability or credit of India or any part thereof is threatened. The President may issue a proclamation to direct financial measures aimed at restoring fiscal health. During a financial emergency, the central government can reduce the salaries and allowances of government officials, including judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. It can also direct states to observe financial discipline. The proclamation of financial emergency requires approval by Parliament within a stipulated time frame to continue in force. The emergency provisions represent a delicate balance between maintaining order and protecting civil liberties. While emergencies enable the government to take extraordinary steps, they also contain safeguards to prevent misuse of power. For example, the requirement for parliamentary approval, periodic review of the proclamation, and revocation procedures ensure that emergency powers are exercised within constitutional limits. During an emergency, certain fundamental rights are suspended, but not all. The right to life and personal liberty continues to be protected even during national emergency. This means that no person can be arbitrarily deprived of these rights. However, rights such as freedom of speech, assembly, and movement can be restricted to meet the exigencies of the situation. This selective suspension reflects the need to balance individual freedoms with national security. The Constitution also provides that the representation of states in the Parliament can be altered during an emergency. The Parliament may choose to increase the representation of any state or union territory in either house. This flexibility helps in managing the political landscape during times of crisis. It is important to note that the emergency provisions have been subject to significant judicial scrutiny and political debate in India. The Supreme Court of India has played a crucial role in interpreting these provisions and limiting the extent of executive power during emergencies. The courts have emphasized that emergency powers must be exercised only for the purpose for which they are granted and must not be used arbitrarily or for political gains. Historically, emergency provisions have been invoked on a few occasions in India. The most notable national emergency was declared during the mid-1970s due to internal disturbances. This period witnessed a suspension of many democratic rights and restrictions on political activities, leading to widespread criticism. The experience highlighted the potential for misuse of emergency powers and resulted in constitutional amendments aimed at strengthening safeguards. The provisions for state emergency have also been used several times when state governments failed or political crises emerged. These interventions, while sometimes necessary, have raised questions about federalism and the autonomy of states. However, the Constitution provides a clear mechanism to deal with such situations, ensuring continuity of governance and protection of citizens' rights. The financial emergency has never been proclaimed in the Republic of India, reflecting the rarity of such a severe financial crisis affecting the entire country or a specific part. Stop.